So question number 77 is of general solution, which is not in your syllabus this year. Okay, look at the question number 78. Okay, the question is square root of 3 into cosecant 20 degree minus secant 20 degree is equal to option A 2, option B 4, option C is 3, and option D is 1. Okay, so we know cosecant theta is nothing but 1 by sine theta and secant theta is 1 by cos theta. So let us replace cosecant theta by 1 by sine theta here and secant theta by 1 by cos theta. So what happens here? This will be root 3 into 1 by sine 20 degree minus 1 by cos 20 degree. Okay. So let us take the LCM and simplify. This will be root 3 cos 20 degree minus sine 20 degree, and in the denominator it will be sine 20 degree into cos 20 degree. So now let us multiply and divide only the numerator by 2, because if we multiply and divide by 2 in the numerator, so what will happen? Here we will get 1 by 2 and here we will get root 3 by 2. So 1 by 2 we can replace it by cos 60 degree, and root 3 by 2 we can replace it by sine 60 degree, and this will take the form sine 60 cos 20 minus cos 60 into sine 20, so that we can reduce it to the formula. Okay, so let us, what do we do here? Let us multiply and divide 2 in the numerator. So only in the numerator. Okay. So the 2 I am multiplying, I'll keep it as it is. And here it will be root 3 by 2 into cos 20 degree minus 1 by 2 into sine 20 degree divided by sine 20 into cos 20 degree. Now, you know, root 3 by 2 is replaced by sine 60 degree. Okay, this is sine 60 into cos 20 minus cos 60 degree into sine 20 degree. So the denominator, it is as it is. So in what form is the numerator here? It is in the form sin A cos B minus cos A sin B, right? So what is the formula? Yes, what is sin A cos B minus cos A sin B? It is sin of A minus B, right? Am I not audible? Can't you hear me, people? Am I audible? Can you people hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, then you should answer, right? So it is sine of A minus B, right? This is sine A cos B minus cos A sine B, isn't it? It is sine of A minus B. So it will be 2 into sine of 60 minus 20 degree, that is sine 40 degree, divided by sine 20 degree into cos 20 degree. Now, once again, let us multiply and divide the entire thing by 2. Okay, so what we'll do now? Multiply and divide by 2. So the numerator will become 4 sine 40 degree So the numerator, it will be 4 sine 40 degree by 2 sine 20 cos 20 degree. So this is of the form 2 sine theta cos theta, which is nothing but sine 2 theta. So this will be 2 into
Sine 40.
So this will be 4 sine 40 degree divided by
Sine 40 degree.
sine 40 degree. So sine 40 degree in the numerator and denominator gets cancelled to give us 4.
4.
4 is the value of root 3 cosecant 20 degree minus secant 20 degree. So this is your option B. So option B is the right answer.
Ma'am, can you repeat it once more, ma'am?
Right. You didn't listen.
Ma'am, I lost track a little bit in between.
Okay. See, it is given that you have to find out the value of root 3 cosecant 20 degree minus secant 20 degree. And the options given are 2, 4, 3 and 1. Okay. We know that cosecant theta is nothing but 1 by sine theta, right? Cosecant theta is 1 by sine theta. And secant theta is 1 by cos theta. So here we are replacing cosecant theta by 1 by, cosecant 20 degree by 1 by sine 20 degree and secant 20 degree by 1 by cos 20 degree. So let us take the LCM and simplify. So the denominator will be sine 20 degree cos 20 degree and the numerator it will be root 3 cosecant root 3 cos 20 degree minus sine 20 degree. So now what we will do is we will just multiply and divide numerator by 2. So when we divide, multiply and divide numerator by 2, the term that I am multiplying, I am keeping it as it is. The 2 that I am dividing, I am taking inside this. So this will become root 3 by 2 cos 20 degree minus 1 by 2 sine 20 degree. Okay. Now root 3 by 2 is nothing but sine 60 degree and 1 by 2 is nothing but cos 60 degree. Now here sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. So now after replacing root 3 by 2 by sine 60 degree and 1 by 2 by cos 60 degree, this entire term is of the form sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. And we know that sine of A minus B is sine A cos B minus cos A sine B, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here, what is A? 60 degree and what is B? It is 20 degree. So what happens? Sine of A minus B will be Sine of 60 minus 20, that is sine 40 degree. So the 2 that is here is once again here carried to the next equation, and this will be sine 40 degree divided by sine 20 into cos 20. So once again, yes, mute your audios. Once again, let us multiply and divide this entire thing by 2. Okay. So now what happens to the numerator? So 2 is there already. The 2 into 2 will be 4. So 4 into sine 40 degree divided by the 2 that is taken will be 2 sine 20 degree into cos 20 degree. So note that sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cos theta, right? So what is theta here? It is 20 degrees. So this will take the form sine 2 theta. So that is sine 2 into 20. So that will give you sine 40 degree. So in the numerator there is sine 40 and in the denominator there is sine 40. They both will cancel and what is left out is 4. So that will be the value of root 3 cosecant 20 degree minus secant 20 degree. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at the next question. Question number 79. This was a question in the year 2020. So the question is the value of sine square 51 degree plus sine square 39 degree is. The options are 0. Option B is sine 12 degree. Option C is cos 12 degree. And option D is 1. So this question is very simple. See this?
Ma'am, option.
Yes.
Option D.
And D. How?
Taking
because-
the sign as 90 minus 51. So sine of A minus B will be cos square. So sine 51 cos 51 is equal to 1.
Very good. So this will be sine square 51 degree. And here sine square of 39 degree can be written as sine square of 90 minus 51 degree. Right? So sine of 90 minus theta is cos theta. So this will be sine square 51 degree plus cos square 51 degree. And we know that sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Therefore, option D will be the right answer. Very good. Look at the next question. Question number 80. So this was also a question in your previous paper, that is 2020 paper. That is tan A plus cot A is equal to 2. If tan A plus cot A is equal to 2, then the value of tan to the power of 4A plus cot to the power of 4A is equal to. We have to find out the value of tan to the power of 4A plus cot to the power of 4A. The options given are, option A is 1, option B is 4, option C is 5, and option D is 2. So there are two methods to solve this. Almost both the methods are easy. So let us take the given condition, that is tan A plus cot A is equal to 2. Okay. I will square on both the sides. What I'll do, I'll square on both the sides. That is tan A plus cot A whole square is equal to 2 square. Okay. So this is of the form A plus B whole square. Let us expand this. This will give us tan square A plus cot square A plus 2 tan A cot A is equal to 4, right? And tan A cot A gets cancelled because tan A cot A is nothing but 1 by tan A. So what is left out is tan square A plus cot square A is equal to 2. Because this 2 goes to RHS, so 4 minus 2 will give us 2. So this is tan square A plus cot square A. Now, once again, let us square on both sides. What happens now? It will be tan square A plus cot square A whole square is equal to 2 square, that is 4. So this will be tan to the power of 4A plus cot to the power of 4A plus 2 tan square A into cot square A is equal to 4. Okay. Now this will be tan to the power of 4A plus cot to the power of 4A. Once again, this tan square A cancels with cot square A. So what will be left out is 2. Let us take the 2 to RHS. So it will be 4 minus 2. That will give you 2. So the value of tan to the power of 4A plus cot to the power of 4A is equal to 2. Whenever tan A plus cot A is equal to 2, we get tan to the power of 4A plus cot to the power of 4A is equal to 2. Okay, so this is one method. So in another method, what do is, we choose this A. Okay, we are going to choose this angle so that we will get the value that is in the RHS. Okay, so we have to choose some angle A so that when we put that angle A here, we should get the value in the RHS. So can you tell me what angle can be chosen here?
45.
Yes. So tan 45 is equal to 1 and cot 45 is equal to 1, right? So 1 plus 1 is 2. That is the value in the RHS. So let us choose. So this is the second method. Let us choose A is equal to 45 degree. Okay. Now, tan 45 degree plus cot 45 degree will be equal to 2. That is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So this condition is satisfied here, right? Now we have to find out tan to the power of 4A plus cot to the power of 4A. So now tan to the power of 4A hinge barkoboda, tan A to rise to 4 plus cot A rise to 4 anta. We can write it that way, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is the value of A we have chosen? 45 degree. So this will be tan 45 degree rise to 4 plus cot 45 degree rise to 4. That is 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. Whenever this condition is satisfied by choosing some angle, that can be once again substituted here in this value, and whatever the value we get will be the right answer. So not only for this, it can be used for similar problems, whether it may be sine, cos, whatever may be the equation here. We can choose the angle in such a way that it will satisfy the given value. It will give the value that is in the RHS, and same angle can be replaced here. Okay. So the answer is option D, 2. This is an easy method, but you should be very careful while choosing the angle. Next question. The value of, so question number 81 in that. from your 2020 paper. Cos of, the value of cos of sine inverse pi by 3, sine inverse pi by 3 plus cos inverse pi by 3 is, the options are 1, -1, does not exist, and option D is 0.
Ma'am, option C.
Does not exist. Why?
Ma'am, because there is nothing known as sine inverse pi by 3. It will only be the value sine inverse 1 or sine inverse 1 by 2.
Very good. So sine inverse pi by 3 can't be found because pi by 3 is not a point among -1 to 1, right? Pi by 3 does not belong to the interval -1, 1. Okay. Therefore, the value of sine inverse pi by 3 and cos inverse pi by 3 does not exist. If the value of this is does not exist, what will be the cos of that value which does not exist? The answer for this is option C. The value does not exist. Next question. The domain of the function f of x is equal to cos inverse of root of x minus 1 is. We have to find out the domain of the function. Okay, the options given are the interval 0, 2, closed interval. Option B is closed interval -1, 1. Option C is closed interval 0, 1. Option D is closed interval 1, 2. Okay, so while doing the relations and functions, we have seen so many functions that are actually under root. Okay, what we did in such cases? We took the equation under the root to be positive, right? We considered that equation and we put this condition, right? That equation must be greater than or equal to 0. So here also we have to find out cos inverse of root of x minus 1. Okay. So for this also, this x minus 1 must be greater than or equal to 0.
1.
But greater than or equal to 0. This equation must be positive. So here one more thing is that this equation is with cos inverse, and we know what is the for cos inverse x, we know that x must be in between -1 to 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
For cos inverse x, x must belong to -1, 1. So here what is x? Root of x minus 1, isn't it? So this root of x minus 1 must be between -1 to 1. But we know this x minus 1 must be positive. The equation under the root must be positive. That is, this x minus 1 must lie between 0 and 1. So let us add 1 to entire equation. So this will be 0 plus 1, x minus 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1. That is 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. That is for cos inverse of square root of x minus 1, x must lie between 1 and 2. That is x belongs to closed interval 1, 2. So option B is the right answer here. Okay. Take down the next question. I don't think this is in a PDF. So take down the question. The value of sine of two into cos inverse root 5 by 3 is option A is root 5 by 3. Option B is 2 root 5 by 3. Option C is 4 root 5 by 9. And option D 2 root 5 divided by 9. So we have to find out the value of sine of 2 into cos inverse root 5 by 3. So this was also a question from one of your previous papers. So let us see the solution. So it is given that we have to find out sine of 2 cos inverse root 5 by 3. Okay. See here, 2 cos inverse x can be written as cos inverse of 2x square minus 1. Okay. So we will make use of this identity here. So this is sine of, so here it is cos inverse of 2 into x square, that is 2 into root 5 by 3 whole square minus 1. So this will be sine of cos inverse of 2 into 5 by 9. That is 10 by 9 minus 1, right? This will be sine of cos inverse of 1 by 9. Clear till here? Understood till here?
Yes, ma'am.
So what we had, it was sine of cos inverse 1 by 9, right? Now, cos inverse of x can be written as sine inverse of root of 1 minus x square. Okay, so we will make use of this here. That is sine of sine inverse of square root of 1 minus x here is 1 by 9. So 1 by 9 whole square will give us 1 by 81. That is sine inverse of root of 80 by 81. So sine and sine inverse will get cancelled to give us root of 80 by 81, and we know that root 81 is 9 and root 80 can be written as root of 16 into 5. So, and we know that root 16 is 4. What is left out here? It is root 5 divided by 9. So, the value of sine of 2 cos inverse x, 2 cos inverse root 5 by 3 is 4 root 5 by 9. I think this was your option C, right? Option C is the right answer.
Ma'am?
Yes?
Ma'am, this formulas like cos inverse x is equals to sine inverse to the root 1 minus x square.
Yes.
That is not there in textbook, I think so, ma'am, in NCERT book.
Yes, make a note of it then.
Ma'am, like this formulas, can you just send it in what's this one group, ma'am, so that we can also refer to it?
Yes, of course, I will. Okay. So I just list out the formulae that are necessary and I will send it through PDF, okay, in the group.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Shall we see one more?
Yes, ma'am.
Find the value of sine of, the value of sine of 2 sine inverse root of 63 by 65. The options given are 8 into root 63 divided by 65. Root 63 divided by 65. Option C is 2 into root of 126 divided by 65. Option D is 4 into root of 63 divided by 65. Okay, I'll give you a hint. You try to do it on your own. Okay. 2 sine inverse x can be written as sine inverse of 2x root of 1 minus x square. Okay, so the x value of x here is root of 63 divided by 65. Just substituting the value wherever x is there, substitute root of 63 by 65 and then simplify it. And you must get 2 into root of 126 divided by 65. You should get this answer. Okay. Will you try? Will you try or should we do it here?
We'll try, ma'am.
Okay. If you don't get, you ask me in the next class. I'll teach you. Take down one more. If square root of 1 plus cos A divided by 1 minus cos A is equal to x by y. Then the value of tan A is, the options are 2xy divided by x square minus y square, 2xy divided by y square minus x square. Option C is x square plus y square divided by x square minus y square. Option D is 2xy divided by x square plus y square. These are all the questions that had appeared in your previous papers. Okay. So let us see the solution. We have 2 cos square alpha, or whatever it may be, either it may be 2 cos square theta or 2 cos square alpha. It is 1 plus cos 2 alpha. Similarly, 2 sin square alpha will be equal to 1 minus cos 2 alpha. Let us make use of these two here. That is under root 1 plus cos A divided by 1 minus cos A is equal to x by y can be written as square root of 2 cos square. Here A is there. We have to write it A by
2.
Yes. Divided by 2 sin square A by 2, which will be equal to x by y. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled. There are square of the terms. So square of the terms which is there under the root. So this will become cos A by 2 divided by sin A by 2 is equal to x by y, which is nothing but cot A by 2 is equal to x by y, right? So then what about tan A by 2? We have got cot A by 2 is equal to x by y, right? So what about tan A by 2 then?
One by cot A by 2.
1 by cot A by 2. That is 1 by x by y, which is nothing but y by x, right? So tan A by 2 is equal to y by x. But what is asked is, what is the value of tan A? We have to find out tan A. So what I do here, this will give me tan A, right? Tan 2A by 2. That will give us tan A. But this is tan 2 theta, right? What is tan 2 theta in terms of tan theta? It will be 2 tan theta divided by 1
minus tan square theta.
square theta.
Sin square theta.
What is theta here? A by 2. We have the value of tan A by 2. So we can make use of this formula. That is 2 tan A by 2 divided by 1 minus tan square A by 2. We know that tan A by 2 is y by x. So it is 2 into y by x divided by 1 minus y by x. So now let us say, sorry, this will be square, right? Y square by x square. Okay, now let us simplify this one. So this will be in the numerator, it will be 2y by x. In the denominator, it will be x square minus y square divided by x square. So upon simplification, this will be equal to 2xy divided by x square minus y square. So when root of 1 plus cos A divided by 1 minus cos A is equal to x by y, the value of tan A will be 2xy divided by x square minus y square. So this was your option A, right? Okay, this is about the trigonometry. Let us next look at complex numbers. Complex numbers and quadratic equations. In the PDF, look at question number 32. So the question was from the year 2017 paper. If the roots of the equation x cube plus ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 are in AP, that is arithmetic progression. The roots are in arithmetic progression. Then the value of 2a cube minus 9ab is equal to. Here a cubic equation is given, which is x cube plus ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and the roots are given to be in AP. Then we have to find out the value of 2a cube minus 9ab. So the options are 9c, option B is 18c, option C is 27c, and option D is minus 27c. Okay, so remember this. For a cubic equation of the form px cube plus qx square plus rx plus s is equal to 0. For a cubic equation of this form, where p not equal to 0, if alpha, beta and gamma are roots of this equation, then the sum of the roots, that is alpha plus beta plus gamma, will give us minus q by p, that is the coefficient of x square divided by coefficient of x cube, but negative of the value, minus q by p. That is, the sum of the roots will give us minus q by p. And alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha will give us r by p. That is the coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x cube. And the product of the roots, that is alpha, beta, gamma, will give us minus s by p. Okay, this is the relationship between the roots and the coefficients of x in a cubic equation. Okay, so let us make use of these conditions here to find out the roots. Okay, the roots are not given, but the condition is given that the roots are in arithmetic progression. Okay. So let us assume the roots to be s minus t, s plus t, because it is said that the roots are in progression, arithmetic progression. Okay, let s minus t, s and s plus t be the roots. Just as we saw that the sum of the roots is the negative coefficient of x square divided by coefficient of x cube. So here the sum of the roots, that is s minus t plus s plus t, should give us minus a, right? The equation that was given was x cube plus ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? So here the coefficient of x square is a and coefficient of x cube is 1. So minus a by 1, which is minus a. So this will be nothing but minus 3s is equal to a, right? Or a is equal to minus 3s. And s minus t into s plus s into s plus t plus s minus t into s plus t will give us b. Let us simplify this one. This will be s square minus st plus s square plus st, s square minus t square is equal to b. This is of the form s minus t into s plus t. So this will be 3s square minus t square is equal to b, right? So now we got the value of b. What you needed? We have to find out 2a cube minus 9ab, right? So we got the value of a, we got the value of b. Only that is not enough. We have to find out the value of 8 in terms of c. So we need c also. But that c can be obtained by product of the roots, right? So s minus t into s plus t will give us minus c. So what is the product of the roots here? This will be minus s cube plus st square will be equal to c. We get s cube minus st square is equal to minus c, or c is minus x cube plus st square. Now let us find out what is 2a cube minus 9ab. So we need 2a cube minus 9ab, right? Let us substitute the value of a and b here. So a we got it as minus 3s. So it will be 2 into minus 3s whole cube minus 9 into minus 3s into b is 3s square minus t square. Simplify this one. Upon simplification, this will give us minus 54 s cube. Plus 81 s cube. Minus 27 st square. Minus 54 will be this. So this will give us 27 s cube minus 27 st square. So to give the answer in terms of c, we can take minus 27 common, which will give us minus s cube plus st square, which is equal to minus 27 c. So the value of 2a cube minus 9ab is minus 27c. So option D was the right answer. Look at the next question. If 1 omega square or 3 cube roots of unity, then 1 omega square or the cube roots of unity, then 1 minus omega plus omega square into 1 plus omega minus omega square is option A 2, option B 4, option C 1 and option D 3. So here 1 omega square are given to be the cube roots of unity. So we have a property of cube roots of unity that 1 plus omega square will be equal to 0, isn't it? That implies omega square is nothing but minus 1 minus omega, and minus omega square is nothing but 1 plus omega. So here omega square is there, and here minus omega square is there. Let us substitute those values. So 1 minus omega and omega square is minus 1 minus omega, and here 1 plus omega plus 1 plus omega. Or 1 plus omega is minus omega square. Okay, this will be minus 2 omega. This will be minus 2 omega square, which is equal to 4 omega cube. So what is the value of omega cube? What is the value of omega cube? The value of omega cube is 1. So this will be 4 into 1, which is 4. The value of 1 minus omega plus omega square into 1 plus omega minus omega square is equal to 4. Look at the next question. Question from 2015 paper. If z equals root 3 plus I whole cube into 3I plus 4 whole square divided by 8 plus 6I whole square, then mod z is equal to option A 1, option B 3, option C is 0, and option D is 2. So let us see the solution. We have to find out mod z, right? Let us apply mod to RHS also. So that is mod of root 3 plus I whole cube into 3I plus 4 whole square divided by 8 plus 6I whole square. So this will be mod of root 3 plus I whole cube. This is mod of 3I plus 4 whole square divided by mod of 8 plus 6I whole square. Which is nothing but this will be root of root 3 whole square plus 1 square, isn't it? And this term whole cube. And here it will be root of 3 square plus 4 square. It will be whole square divided by, this is root of 8 square plus 6 square whole square. Okay. So what about the first term then? This will be 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1 under root and raised to the power 3. So this is nothing but square root of 3 plus 1 whole cube into root of 9 plus 16 whole square divided by root of 64 plus 36 whole square. Okay. The value of this will be 3 plus 1 is 4, root of 4 is 2, this is 2 cube, into 9 plus 16 is 25, so root of 25 is 5, this is 5 square divided by, in the denominator 64 plus 36 is 100, root 100 is 10 square. So this will be 8 into 25 by 100, which is equal to 2.
Ma'am, can you explain again from the third step, ma'am?
From where? Here.
The third one.
Okay. You know, if z is equal to a plus ib, what is mod z? Mod z will be root of a square plus b square. Okay. So, when the mod is for everything, we can apply mod to its factors. So here, this is of the form a plus ib, right? Root 3 plus I is nothing but root 3 plus I into 1. So what will be the mod of this root 3 plus I then? This will be root of this root 3 whole square plus 1 square. Okay. So similarly here it is 3i plus 4, or it is nothing but 4 plus I into 3. All of these numbers are of the form a plus ib. So mod of this 4 plus I into 3 will be root of 4 square plus 3 square, or it is 3i plus 4, so 3 square plus 4 square. And whatever the powers that are given here, that power is continued as it is. Okay. And here in the denominator, it is of the form a plus ib, that is 8 plus 6i. So mod of this number will be root of 8 square plus 6 square. So now we are simplifying, that's all. So in the previous step, it was root 3 square plus 1 square. Root 3 square is root 3 whole square is 3 plus 1 square is 1. So everything is under the root. So we know 3 plus 1 is 4. Root 4 is 2. And there is cube for the entire thing. So here it will be 2 cube. Okay. So here 9 plus 16, you know, 9 plus 16 is 25. Root 25 is 5. Here there is square for the term. That square we have taken here. And root of 64 plus 36. So 64 plus 36 is 100. Root of 100 is there. Root 100 is 10. And a square is there. We are carrying that square here. Okay, 2 cube is 8. 5 square is 25. And 10 square is 100. 25 into 8 is 200. Divide by 100, which will give us the answer 2. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
No. Look at the next question. If alpha and beta are the roots of x square minus ax plus b square is equal to 0, a quadratic equation is given, x square minus ax plus b square is equal to 0, then alpha square plus beta square is equal to. Okay. So alpha and beta are given to be the roots of the quadratic equation x square minus ax plus b square is equal to 0. Then we have to find out the value of alpha square plus beta square. The options are 2a square minus b square. Option B is a square plus b square. Option C, a square minus 2b square. And option D is a square minus b square. Okay. So just now we saw, while doing the previous problem, what is the relationship between the coefficients of coefficients of x in cubic equation and its roots. So we have such a relation in case of quadratic equation also. Suppose the equation, the given quadratic equation is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a not equal to 0. Then say, and R1, R2 be the roots. R1 and R2 are the roots of this quadratic equation. Then the sum of the roots, that is R1 plus R2, will give us minus b by a. Okay, that is the coefficient of negative of the coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square, and the product of the roots will give us c by a. Okay, so here let us make use of these two things. Okay, so here given that alpha and beta are the roots. So alpha plus beta should give us negative of the coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x square. So coefficient of x square here is 1, right? So this is 1x square. Coefficient of x square here is 1. And coefficient of x is minus a. So the negative of coefficient of x means minus of minus a. That is plus a divided by 1. Okay. And the product of the roots, sorry, alpha into beta. The product of the roots will give us the constant term divided by coefficient of x square. So here the constant term is c. So alpha into beta will give us c.
Ma'am, your constant term is b square, no ma'am?
Sorry, that's what I was saying. I saw this equation, sorry. So the product of the roots, the constant term here in the equation is b square. Okay. Now we need alpha square plus beta square. Okay. We know that alpha plus beta whole square is alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta. From this equation, we can get that alpha square plus beta square is nothing but alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 into alpha beta. Right? We know the value of alpha plus beta, which is a. We know what is alpha beta, which is b square. Let us substitute the values and simplify. So alpha plus beta is a, square is there, minus 2 into alpha beta is b square. So we got alpha square plus beta square is nothing but a square minus 2b square. So which is option C. Any doubts still here? Look at the next question. The real part of 1 minus cos theta, the real part of 1 minus cos theta plus I sin theta inverse is option A 1 by 2, option B is 1 by 1 plus cos theta, option C is tan theta by 2, option D is cot theta by 2. So it is given that 1 minus cos theta plus I sin theta inverse, which is nothing but 1 by 1 minus cos theta plus I sin theta. Because inverse of the entire thing is there, we can write it as 1 by 1 minus cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay. So now let us rationalize this. That is, we will multiply and divide by 1 minus cos theta minus I sin theta. That is 1 minus cos theta minus I sin theta divided by 1 minus cos theta minus I sin theta. So in the numerator, it will be 1 into 1 minus cos theta minus I sin theta. That will give us 1 minus cos theta minus I sin theta while multiplying the denominators to avoid the confusion, let us do term by term. So 1 into the entire thing will give us 1 minus cos theta minus I sin theta minus cos theta plus cos square theta plus I sin theta cos theta plus I sin theta minus I sin theta cos theta minus I square sin square theta, but I square is equal to minus 1, so it will be plus sin square theta, right? So here cancel out the terms, which will cancel. So this term and this term will get cancelled out. So this term and this term will cancel out. What is left is 1 minus cos theta minus I sin theta divided by 1 minus 2 cos theta plus.
Ma'am, last I square sin square theta, no, ma'am?
Yes, I square sin square theta. That will be minus I square sin square theta. Right? The last term will be this I sin theta into this I sin theta. I sin theta into minus I sin theta will give us minus I square sin square theta. But what is the value of I square? What is I square?
1.
I square is 1.
Minus 1.
Minus 1. What is I? I is root of minus 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I square is minus 1. So just substitute minus 1 here for I square. So this will be plus sin square theta. Okay, I have written this directly here. That's all. Okay. So this will be cos theta and one more cos theta, that will give us minus 2 cos theta. So what is left here is cos square theta plus this sin square theta, which is equal to 1. So this is 1 minus cos theta minus I sin theta divided by 2 into 1 minus cos theta. Okay. Now the question was to find out the real part of this. So I will take all the real terms together and I will take all the imaginary terms to one side. So here the real terms are 1 minus cos theta divided by 2 into 1 minus cos theta minus I into sin theta divided by 2 into 1 minus cos theta. So here this is the real term, this is the imaginary term. So simplify this. This will give us 1 by 2 minus whatever the imaginary term is there. So the real part here is 1 by 2. So what is the real part of 1 minus cos theta plus I sin theta inverse? The real part is 1 by 2. Fine? Understood? Look at the next question.
Ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am. Can you put the previous slide? Yes, ma'am.
Look at the next question. So this was a question in the year 2016, which is I to the power of n plus I to the power of n plus 1 plus I to the power of n plus 2 plus I to the power of n plus 3 is, options are 0, 1, minus 1 and I. Okay, so here, see here, look at the equation. It is I to the power of n plus I to the power of n plus 1 can be written as I to the power of n into I, right? Or let us keep it as it is. Okay, so I to the power of n plus 2. Let us write this as I to the power of n into I square plus this I to the power of n plus 3 can be written as I to the power of n into I to the power of 3. Right? Can we write it like this?
Yes, ma'am.
This is I to the power of n plus I to the power of n plus 1. And we know what is I square? I square is minus 1, right? So this will
Yes,
become minus I to the power of n. So what is further? Okay, let us write this term as I to the power of n Can we write it like this? So this will give us in total I to the power of n plus 3. Once again, I to the power of n into I will write it as I to the power of n plus 1. And what is I square? Minus 1. So this will further become I to the power of n plus I to the power of n plus 1 minus I to the power of n minus I to the power of n plus 1. Right? Because I square is equal to minus 1. This I to the power of n will cancel out this with this minus I to the power of n. This I to the power of n plus 1 will cancel out with this minus I to the power of n plus 1. So what is left out?
0.
0. So the 0 is the answer. Look at the next question. If 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I whole to the power of m is equal to 1, then the least positive integral value of m is. That is, you have to find out the least positive integral value of m. So that m will satisfy this condition. Okay, the options are m is equal to 4, m is equal to 1, m is equal to 2, and option D is m is equal to 3. Okay, so here what is given? 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I. Now let us simplify this and see what will be the value of this. That is, let us rationalize this. So in the numerator it will be 1 plus I whole square, and in the denominator it will be 1 square minus I square. You know how you got this? This is of the form a minus b into a plus b. That will give us a square minus b square. And further, I square is equal to minus 1. So let us expand the numerator. 1 square plus I square plus 2 into 1 into I, that is 2I, divided by 1 square is 1 and I square is minus 1. That is, it will give us 2 in the denominator. Okay. So the numerator will further will be 1 minus 1, that will cancel out to give us 2i by 2, which is equal to I. So the value of 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I is I. Okay. So this 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I whole to the power of m is nothing but I to the power of m, right? And this I to the power of m must be equal to 1. Okay. Let us see what will be the least value such that I to the power of m will be equal to 1. So what about I to the power of 1? What is I?
The root of minus 1.
Minus 1. This is not equal to 1. What about I square?
Minus 1.
Minus 1.
Minus 1. No, this is also not equal to 1. What is I cube?
Minus root minus 1.
Minus root minus 1. That is minus I. Right. I cube can be written as I square into I. I square is minus 1 into I. That is minus I. I cube is minus I. What about I to the power of 4?
1.
Yes. I square into I square, right? I square is minus 1 into minus 1. That will give us 1. So I to the power of 4 will be equal to 1. So 4 is the least integral value for which I to the power of m will be equal to 1. So m will be equal to 4. This 4 is the least value such that I to the power of m will be equal to 1. So m is equal to 4 is the option.